Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and a Yap. I know what you're thinking off the bat. Why are we inside? Why are we not outside? Why do you have headphones on? And why do you have a pink microphone? I will answer all of those questions for you right this second. So, listen, I know what I said about Coffee and a Yap being outside. It originated out there. For some reason, I decided I wanted to start it outside because I like being outside. Good vitamin D. Good vibe. However, I'm kind of going batshit crazy with the dog barking and the wind and the airplanes, and I mean, any mic I use still picks it up, and honestly, kind of over it, and it honestly just gets under my skin. So I decided that we are inside. Coffee and a Yap is happening from this desk. I got this desk for a reason, and so I'm going to start filming Coffee and Yaps here. And also, I feel like I'm more comfortable here. Outside, I don't know. I feel like I can't talk as loud as I want. I don't really know why, because it's not like my neighbors even pay attention to me, but I think I just feel more at home inside and with my mic and my setup all in here. I don't have to take it outside because, sometimes I'm a little lazy like that, and that's okay. I just feel like Coffee and a Yap will thrive inside. So I do have my coffee, and let's get right into it. I will say, I found my new coffee obsession. If you've been paying attention to my socials and in my upcoming vlog that I will be posting, I have talked about how obsessed I am with Emma Chamberlain, and I have been for a while. And it's just hilarious that I also started kind of a podcast as well. She was definitely an inspiration for it. And I've watched Emma since day one, literally. And I feel like that's so cliche to say. I've been watching. Don't you get in that plant. My cat is trying to get in my snake plant. And I'm trying to keep it alive. And this is not helping. But like I was saying, I'm obsessed with her. I've been watching her since day one. I feel like we could truly be besties, and I'm just so inspired by her, especially because we're the same age, and I'm obsessed with everything that she does. She's so cool, and I love her. So I obviously love coffee, just like she does, and she's a lot cooler than me because she has her own coffee brand, and that is my new obsession, is her coffee brand. I used to drink her coffee a few years ago, and then I got the Nespresso, and I stopped because there's no espresso pods in her brand, which hopefully that'll change one day. But I found her coffee at Sprouts yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the pour over method, and I'm going to try out her coffee again. A new one that I haven't tried out. I got the Social Dog. Guys, it's so good. It really, truly, I'm not even trying to be up her ass because I love her. I actually really enjoy this coffee. This is my second cup. And I don't normally drink a second cup, but I also was doing Coffee and a Yap, so why not? It's Friday, and it's Friday for me. It's Monday when you watch this, but it's Friday for me. So I get to treat myself and have another coffee because I can. So it's the Social Dog blend, and it's delicious. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to say about that. I also have a little bit of the Chobani cookie dough creamer because I'm obsessed and I can't not. And it's delicious. So let's go ahead and get into the songs that I've been loving. Listen, the song came out last night. I already love it. The Giver, Chappell Roan. Duh. Country Chappell Roan. I'm so happy about this. I really am so happy about this. It's just so good. I mean, her being from Missouri and her growing up on country music and her saying it's so nostalgic and then releasing a country song is honestly so iconic and so bold, because I know that she was nervous to release it because, country fans can be a little judgy of pop music. take it from me, the one that's in the country music scene, okay? I love pop music, clearly. If you've watched any of Coffee and a Yap, you know that I am definitely in my pop phase right now. But, I mean, everybody's judgy about everything, so I can understand why she was nervous. I mean, it's kind of like if I were to put out a pop song, I would be truly so nervous and scared for that. So kudos to her for just not even giving a shit and putting it out, and it's amazing. I mean, clearly, it gives me like Shania Twain vibe, which is so cool. Yeah. And I just love her like ad libs too at the very end and like throughout the song. I think that it just makes the song so fun. So The Giver it's 100% going to be my song this week. I'm going to play it all the time. There's a song that I've had in my back pocket that I feel like nobody talks about. And I'm obsessed with it. It's called Pretty Things by TFDI. And I have been listening to this song for a while. And it's like every time I listen to it, I just fall more and more in love with it. So I have to share it with y'all because I don't really understand how it's not more popular than it is. I mean, I guess it has 11 million streams, so pretty popular. But I feel like I haven't heard anybody talk about it. So if you haven't heard that song, go check it out. I love it. I also am a big sucker for harmonies, and I just love the vocal blend of everybody's voices together. So Pretty Things, TFDI. So I know I said, I talked about Gaga last week, which valid. I'm going to talk about her again because I'm obsessed with the album. I mean, I am. I've been, if I need a little pick-me-up, putting it on. If I need to feel a little sassy, putting it on. If I need to just if I want to feel like I'm back in middle school, putting it on. Because it's just Gaga, and it makes me feel that way. So my song of the week for Gaga is The Beast. The Beast is so good. Her vocals in that, insane. Gaga is just a queen. I mean, that's all I can say. Because y'all know. It's not like I have to tell you this. It's Lady Gaga. She's literally the biggest artist. So, there's nothing that I can tell you that you don't already know about Gaga, and she's just iconic, and I will not stop listening to Mayhem. So, okay. I was obsessed with the Sour album, Olivia Rodrigo, when it came out. Changed my life. It came out at the perfect time for me when I was going through everything all at once. And I remember just fully putting my AirPods in and listening to that album for the first time and hearing Traitor and just 2 Steps Forward, 3 Steps Back, all of these songs, and I just laid on my bed and I was just staring at the ceiling holy shit, this album is incredible. And then Guts came out. I didn't really listen to Guts. I know. I feel like somebody's about to point a laser gun at me and shoot me. But I didn't really listen to Guts. I don't really know why. I know that it obviously did amazing. I just didn't sit down to listen to it like I did with Sour. And so I missed out because I found a song from Guts called The Grudge. It broke me in the best way possible. Oh wow. This song is wow. I don't even know really what to say about this song because it was one of those moments when I heard it for the first time and I was in the car driving and I just had to, I was sitting there in silence while the tear just, The Grudge is so good. So good. So I apologize. I apologize to Olivia Rodrigo for not listening to Guts sooner because that song is just amazing. Wow, it's amazing. Well, I think for this episode of Coffee and a Yap, I really am just going to talk about where I'm at in life and what is going on in my head and how I'm feeling. Because I've touched on it a little bit in my past couple of Coffee and Yaps, but I feel like I'm kind of all over the place with my stories, so I kind of wanted to stick to one specific topic today, and it is going to be how I'm feeling about music and my life and like where I'm at with my career, because I feel like it's not talked about enough of like how artists are really feeling when, you know, our whole careers and the way that you have to like try to be a musician now is so different from how it was even 5 years ago. So there's not really a bunch of people talking about how like truly hard it is on you, like on the artist. And obviously it gets talked about how it is hard to be a musician, but it's not really talked about what it does to you. So I want to kind of touch on that today and just kind of be honest, because there might be other people out there that are like trying to be an artist or are an artist and listening to this that might relate and be like, okay, nice. I'm not the only one. But man, yeah, it's hard. Like it really is very difficult to be a musician right now, especially a musician who doesn't have like a solid base behind them already. I truly am so grateful that I started when I did, because if I would have started right now, I think I would have given up really quickly. And I'm not saying that to like, you know, for the new artists out there that are trying to become an artist to give up. Please don't. I'm not saying that at all. I just think personally I would have been like, okay, this is a lot, and this is a lot of time on social media that I really don't want to be spending all of my time on. So I'm going to give up. And that's probably what I would have done. Because some days I still kind of feel like that. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm not built for this. Which, dumb. I am built for this. I'm built for this, okay? But I can't just like sit back and say, yeah, I'm living the dream. It's great. It's easy. It's so fun, because it's not. It's not always fun. Now, I will say, you know, before I get into the nitty gritty of it, I will say I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so thankful that I get to do what I do, and I get to go and play shows for people that sing my songs back to me or want to meet me or spend money on my shows. That is the coolest feeling in the whole world, and that is what I've always dreamed about my whole life. So when I get to play shows, it always brings me back to like the center of the earth, where I'm like, okay, this is what you love. This is fun. You're good. Like your mental breakdown is over. So, I am so grateful, and it's so fun when you're playing the shows and when you're making music. It's fun. Now, the social media side of it is really where they lose me. Obviously, I'm 22, so I grew up in the age of social media, like when it was booming. I mean, I remember when Instagram came out. I was in 5th or 6th grade, which is crazy to think about, that I've been on Instagram and social medias for that long. And it makes sense, because I feel like my brain is just like not here, because I've consumed so much media, and it's not normal, right? But the unfortunate side of wanting to be an artist is that you have to be on social media if you want to let people know who you are, because it's not, you know, people go out and stumble upon a random artist anymore and then they're the next big thing. No. It's you either have 100,000 followers on TikTok or you're nobody. And that is a lot. That does a lot to your mental and physical and your heart. And so it's like you have to post on social media 4 times a day at minimum for the algorithm to let you back in, I guess, which is so nuts. and I don't understand. I don't think I ever will. But it's a lot to try to balance, social life, work life, music life, songwriting, relationships, like all of it. And then you have to post on social media. It's a lot. And I feel like, because I do have a normal job. I go to work every day for the most part, and it's boring. Like, I don't have cool things that I'm doing throughout the day to post about. And I think I psych myself out a lot and make myself feel worse about my career and about where I'm at, because I see other artists who don't have full-time jobs, who don't have to go to work. They just do music. And that's so cool. Wish I could do the same thing. I'm just not at the place right now in my life where I can do that. Right now, it's just kind of difficult because I feel like I have nothing to post. I have nothing to give to the people to try to make them listen. And it sucks. I feel like the worst artist ever, and I feel like I'm losing my fan base, which is not true at all. And it's such a negative way of thinking, and I'm trying to get out of that headspace because it's not healthy, and it's only going to make things worse for me. So that's been a big thing for me, is trying to not go into the deep, dark hole of, oh, you're the worst, your career is over. And I hate to dog on social media so much, because social media has helped me personally so much in my career, and I know that it's done amazing things for my friends and people that I know or people that I've watched, and it's helped make people very popular very fast, which is cool, but at the same time it's like really crazy, because it's just wild to me that because of like social media, like TikTok, somebody can go from having a full-time job and they post one video of them singing, blows up, they have record labels calling them left and right, and then the next they're in a tour bus touring. I think that I would like crash out. I'm not even kidding. I think I would crash out and be like, okay, listen, I know that I blew up overnight, but I still got a van to pay off, and we're going to take that, and we're not going to get a tour bus yet. I'm not signing any record deals. I feel like the overnight success has always really been a scary thought for me, because I think that it would just freak me out too much and be too much pressure. And again, I would just crash out. And I also have always just respected the grind of the music industry and the stories of the grind of people, that I've heard stories of artists that would have to go buy a hotel room for the night, but they couldn't afford to get 2 hotel rooms for all of them in the band. So they had to share one hotel room, and they would take the mattresses off the bed, and 2 people would sleep on the mattress on the floor, and then 2 people would sleep on the box spring in the hotel room, just to make ends meet. And that's all the money that they had. And that truly is the grind. The grind is not easy. It's not fun a lot of the time, but I think at the end of the day, you are a little more grateful for the grind because it was so hard. And if it pays off at the end of the day, it was all worth it. And I feel like it makes it a little more worth it when you work your ass off to get where you are, and you spend all that time road dogging and playing a bunch of shitty little hole in the wall bars where there's like 2 people and you get paid $100 for 3 hours. Those shows really are not very fun, but it's part of it, and it's you have to do it in order to make it to where you want to be, which again, it's not always the case. A lot of people blow up overnight and don't have to do that. They just surpass that, and that's cool. Good for you. Some days I'm a little jealous, not gonna lie. Some days I'm like, I'm kind of tired. I wish I would just blow up. I wish I would just blow up. I wish I would just, be an overnight success and everything would be so much easier, but I'm kind of not, I don't want to take the easy way out. I've never wanted to take the easy way out with my music career. And some days I regret that and some days I don't. But for the most part, I feel like because when you have a really shitty show and then the next day you have a great show, it kind of balances, it balances each other out, and you're like, okay, that one was shitty, but this one was great. So it was a great weekend. And even some of the shitty shows, like, you still have fun because there's less pressure to perform great, which we still do. I mean, every night, doesn't matter how many people are there. We're going to give the same show if there was 3 or 3,000. So that's always been my thing. And you just got to do it. You just got to give your all, because you don't know who's going to be there watching you. And again, sometimes it might just be the bartenders, and that's fine. They'll still say something. They'll still clap for you, which is nice. Some of them don't, which, again, fine. But I feel like the grind is really important, and the grind sucks. It does. But it's worth it. It's worth it in the end, hopefully. I say that still as somebody that has a job and is not very popular in music yet. So I say yet. Look, I'm having confidence in myself. Go me. But I think if you are a younger artist or a newer artist, just remember that the grind is important. And the grind is not going to be easy a lot of the time, but it makes it all the more worth it in the end. So, grind it up, y'all. Grind it up. Man, that coffee is so damn good. Like, I actually can't get over it. And I'm feeling like a real social dog today. So, let's talk about where I'm at. Let's get honest. Let's get down to the nitty gritty about where I'm at in my career, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of it. And I don't really talk about it much. I've made, a few posts over the last year, or no, not the last year. I've made a few posts about the struggle of it and like the mental struggle of it sometimes, but right now, things are kind of slow. And things have been slow for probably the past year. And at first, it was really hard for me to accept that and realize that this was just the period of my life where I had to slow down and step back and figure out where I wanted to be in my career and, kind of humble me a little bit. Not that I had a super big ego or anything, but I think I needed to be humbled a little bit because I was very fortunate with some early success because of my cover of Texas Rain, and it got over 1 million streams in 1 year on Spotify, which was absolutely nuts, and I did not expect that at all. I knew that people liked it, and I knew that people wanted me to cover it and put it out. I just did not expect it to do what it did. And for a little while I was the Texas Rain girl, which I didn't have a problem with. I still don't have a problem with. I would like to be known for something other than the Texas Rain song. And I would like to be known for maybe like a song that I actually wrote. But I'm still very grateful for the success that Texas Rain had and has had, because I truly don't think that I would be as far as I am without it. So I had early success with that. And so I was playing a bunch of shows. I was opening for a bunch of my friends. I was, getting gig after gig after gig, playing some really big shows. I mean, I didn't open. I was like the first opener of like 3 for Cody Johnson at a baseball stadium. But like all of these things and these shows were happening really quickly. And so I was like, man, this is easy. Like, this is great. This is so much fun. We're busy. We're making money. I have a band that is fully mine, and I don't have to find musicians all the time to fill in. And it was just really fun. So when I started slowing down and I wasn't getting gig after gig, my streams weren't doing what they used to, and I was losing monthly listeners, and I was losing band members, not because of anything bad, just, other offers were on the table, better offers that I completely understood, and I was so happy for them. It just was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Is my career over? Is my life falling apart? What's going on? And I was just so confused as to why I was losing it. I was losing my mind. I was losing all of it. I was kind of losing like the joy for music, and I'm still trying to find it. Like, I love music so much. I always have. I love singing. I love writing. But I think right now in my life, I'm at this like weird crossroads in my life with, I don't really know what I want to do. I don't really know my sound. I don't really know what I want to write about. And so I feel like I've put myself in this box to where I can't even write. I can't even be creative. And I'm consuming so much and I'm comparing so much that I can't even enjoy where I'm at or like what I want to do. The slowdown part of my life was really scary and still is. I try to not be so hard on myself about it, because I did realize like this is important. This is something that you need. It's good to slow down. It's not scary. It's normal. It happens. Like your career is not just an incline. It's gonna be up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's something that I've really had to learn over this past year and a half. And now, I'm starting to build my shows a little more. And there's shows that like I thought that I was kind of past doing. And I think it's honestly really humbling and really good that I am getting these shows again, because they're not the biggest shows. They're not the most, expensive and cool and 30,000 people kind of shows, but they're still shows. And that's something to be really grateful for, is that I'm still getting booked. I'm still getting gigs, even though they're not the coolest gigs in the world. They're still shows, and there's still a chance for me to get my name out there and my songs out there. And that is something that I've really, I've had to shift my mindset of like, oh, I thought I was overplaying these, 2-hour gigs acoustic, but I'm not. And that's okay. And realizing that like sometimes your career is going to fluctuate is really important. And realized that it was okay to slow down, and then it was okay to go back to the shitty shows. Like, the shitty shows are, again, not fun, but sometimes they are really fun. Sometimes you like go to these acoustic shows and you're like, this is going to be the longest night of my life. Nobody's going to listen. Nobody's going to pay attention. And then it ends up being one of your favorite shows because the people there are really cool, really into it, or just like the owners of the venue are really cool. They treat you really well. And so there's always like positives to it. And that's what I've been trying to focus on the most, is being positive about the slow down of my life and my career. And I don't have a full band that I can just go and do whatever show with. I have to find musicians to fill in. Luckily, I have a great group of musicians and friends of mine that are down to come play shows with me and have played shows with me. So that's a bonus as well. Like, in the time of when I was playing all these shows and stuff, I also had my drummer at the time was my producer, and he had a studio, and so I could go and make music till 2 a.m. whenever I wanted. And so my life was always consistently music. And so now that I don't have that, and I don't have that easy access to make music, I feel like, oh my gosh, am I not creating enough? Am I not making enough music? Am I not putting out enough music? But it's just, I don't have the resources like I did, because now if I want to make music, I have to book a studio time. I have to book studio session players. I have to go to Nashville. I have to, do all of these things. And that used to not be the case. It used to be just like right at my fingertips, and I would be like, hey, I'm coming to the studio. Let's make something happen. And so not having all of those things was really like, oh, okay, this is where it gets hard. And this is where I have to learn how to, be okay with not having all of those things and not playing shows as much. And for a while, it definitely did kind of throw me into this like darkness of, oh my gosh, I'm not ever going to have a career. It's over. I'm never going to be playing these big shows again. I had my time. Like, I'm done. That was it. I one song and done. And I also think that just like all of the content that I was trying to create and trying to get to go viral, and all of that, like just the worry of, oh, why am I not going viral? Am I really bad? Like, can I not write a song? And do people just not like my voice? And all of this bullshit, all this negative bullshit that I shouldn't have been listening to in my head. And it's just not real. Like, yeah, it's hard, and yeah, it feels like my career is over, but it's not. I mean, I still have people out there that message me every day asking about new music, asking about my life, and people that support me so much. And it's like, how can I sit and dwell on the negatives and think my career is over when these people are so supportive and are still here for me, listening to my music and supporting me in anything that I do? How can I let them down and just give up on music? I can't. Also, little Gracie would be so pissed at me if I stopped making music, if I stopped creating music, if I didn't try my hardest to be on a stage every weekend. She'd be pissed at me because this is all I've ever wanted to do. So like, yeah, I'm going to have to go through the hard times. I'm going to have to suck it up and just go with it, because that's life. I mean, life is just up and down all the time. We can't sit and dwell on the negatives and think negative thoughts all the time. We can't. It's not healthy. It's not good. So I've really had to shift my mindset, and I'm doing better now. I have more creative ideas and, you know, some projects that I've been working on that I'm really excited about. I think that there's obviously still going to be like the nervousness of, is this going to perform well? Is this going to do well? Which is so sad. I don't want to have to think about that. I don't want to have to think about social media. If it was up to me, I would hand somebody my phone and be like, do whatever you want. But unfortunately, I am also just like, I have to do it myself. I have to, come up with these ideas myself, because this is my career. I want it to be how I want it to be and not how everybody else wants it to be. So I don't want to be so hands-on, but at the same time, I have to be hands-on. That's just who I am. And when I am creative and I have these ideas flowing, it's so fun and I love it and I get really into it. I don't love social media. I think that we are consuming way too much and not, I think that I can definitely tell the difference in my brain and like how I think because of social media and because of just how the music world is now. You know, once the whole TikTok ban happened, I stopped going on TikTok. I stopped scrolling. And for, several days I was like, man, my brain actually feels empty. Well, not empty, because my brain's never empty, but I feel like I have more room to be creative and to think my own thoughts and to not have, the trending sound just on loop in my head all the time. And then I got attached to Instagram Reels like a 60-year-old and found that I was scrolling just as much on Instagram Reels, but with the sound off, as if that makes it any better. So I've really tried to stop scrolling. I've tried to not touch my phone in the morning. I try to just wake up, get my day started without going on social media. And I've tried to go, most of my days without getting on social media. I've really been back into YouTube and watching TV shows. Right now we're watching Severance like everybody else. Amazing. And, I love watching YouTube, obviously. I always have. And I'm definitely back in my phase where I'm just obsessed with YouTube all the time. And that's still a lot of content that I'm watching. But I do feel like it's a little bit better than just doom scrolling on Instagram Reels or TikTok. It's not, but it makes me feel a little bit better. And I do feel better now that I've tried to be less on social media. I definitely still am addicted. So I'm still working on it. Still a work in progress, but one day I think it'll pay off. Because if I'm being like completely 100% honest, I cannot write right now. I don't know what it is, because I go through these phases and I don't know if it's like writer's block or if I'm just not feeling inspired or what it might be, but I just try to sit down and write, and I can't. Like, I just feel like my creative juices are not where they used to be, because I used to be able to just sit down and write a song and just pull it out of thin air and write it in 30 minutes. Now it takes me, weeks to even write half a song, and it kind of pisses me off, and I'm kind of mad at myself, but like at the same time, how am I supposed to be creative when I'm just, watching everybody else and taking in everybody else's lives and their experiences? And it's like, maybe live your own life, girl. Maybe do your own thing and figure out what's inspiring you right now. Figure out what you want to do, what you want to write about, all the things. So it's kind of like a constant battle. And I'm glad that I'm going to Nashville here in a couple weeks, because usually when I go to Nashville and I do some co-writes, my creative juices get a little bit more flowing and a little more open, and I come back and I'm like, yeah, I want to write 50 songs today. So hopefully that kind of cures my writer's block, because it's really making me mad. So I just hope for some help there. So yeah, it's been hard, and it's been challenging to figure out this time in my life and my career, but I think I'm on the uphill slope. I'm feeling good. I have a lot of cool shit coming up. I really do. Stuff that I haven't shared and stuff that I won't be able to share for a while, but I'm really excited about it. And I hope that I find the love that I once had, because, like I said, I do love it. I really do. Always have. And I'll never not love music. It's just once you're in the career, a lot changes and a lot shifts in your mind, because you don't realize how much goes into it. You don't realize how much you have to do, how much you have to perform and post, and I mean, just it's a lot. It's a lot more. My eye is so itchy. It's a lot more goes into it than people realize, and it's just hard sometimes. And it's like everything. You're gonna go through your phases where you love it and you don't really love it that much. And I love it. Some days I don't. Some days I want to throw in the towel and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go get a 9-to-5 at some boutique in some little town and just live a slow country life. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I can't do that. I want to be the singer. I want to be the one that's on the stage singing songs every night for thousands of people, and touring and going to different places, going across the pond, going and making a record and writing all the time and making music videos. Like, that has always just been my dream. I just love music so much. I love creating. I love art. I love all of it. And so I have to just keep reminding myself that that's why I'm doing this, because I've always loved it, and because music is genuinely my therapy, and it always has been. Whether it's my own music or it's other people's music, I have always been in music, and I can't see myself without it. And so for the first time the other day, I thought to myself, it kind of feels like music doesn't want me. Which is so awful and like sad, but it just felt like music doesn't want me anymore. These people don't want my music anymore. And I had to bring myself back down to earth real quick, because that is such an awful way of thinking, and it's not true. It's just really not true. I think I was just so overwhelmed by all the social media aspect of it. That's really what has been draining the life out of me. And, I've always been good at it. That's the thing. That's not even me being like, I'm really good at social media, so like get on my level. People have just told me that I am good at social media. I know how to appeal to my audience. I know how to post things that are going to do okay and that fit me. So I've been good at social media for a while, but right now I just feel like I'm in like this drought of I have no idea what to post. I don't know what to sing. I don't know what to post. I don't know what's going to do good, what's not, because the algorithm is so bass-ackwards. So it's been tough, and I've been in my head a lot, but again, at the end of the day, I just have to remember that I love it so much. And I remember the feeling of getting off stage after the show and meeting people and talking to people and hearing stories. I mean, one time somebody told me that my song, they lost their fiance, and my song forever got them through it. And that was just like, man, I'm like getting full body chills thinking about it right now, because I have felt that way about people's music for the longest time. I mean, if I'm in any kind of situation in my life, whether it's happy, sad, in love, broken up, heartbroken, like all the feelings, I go to music. And so to hear somebody say that to me about something that I wrote was life-changing. And that was at the very beginning of my career. So I was just like, this is the feeling I've always strived for, was to help somebody with my music or to have somebody relate to it. And so that was just really cool. And those are those moments that I cling to in the dark times, and in the times when I feel like I can't do this anymore. I remind myself, people love it. People love it. People are supporting you still, and you love it. It is hard and it sucks a lot of the time, but you love it. You do. And so I'm finally feeling like I am coming up out of this drought and out of this hole, and I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit more every day. And I am, I'm doing stuff like this, like Coffee and a Yap, another creative outlet for me where I can just free my brain and free up space in here, because a lot goes on in here. Okay, if you wanted to spend 24 hours up in here, you don't. You really don't. And so I wanted to create a space where I could just dump my brain somewhere. And I've always been so intrigued by other people's, creative outlets like this. And this was just one of those for me that I needed to start. And I love it. I've had so much fun doing this, and I'm going to continue to do it because, again, it frees up my brain and I get a chance to just yap. And I get a chance to just connect with y'all on another level, and it's just so fun. It's really awesome. It's really fun. I'm glad I started this because it definitely has made my creative juices start spinning again. So, yeah, I feel better. I feel like I'm not where I was in the negative mindset, which is good because I was there for a while, but now I'm feeling better. And yeah, I think not being on my phone as much has really helped. And everybody says that, but it's true. Not consuming so much content of other people's lives is actually really, really nice. Because obviously it's not normal with the amount of media that we consume. And so I'm just trying to live my life and be present in my own life and not other people's lives. Which, that sounded really bad. I'm present in other people's lives, but like I'm on like the social media side. Y'all understand what I was trying to say. But I'm feeling better. I feel like I'm ready to get these projects done and out and see what happens with them and just create. Just be creative. Just keep doing what I love. I hope the camera's not shaking or else I'm going to cry. But yeah, it's just, y'all keep me going. Y'all truly keep me going and keep me loving this thing I'm trying to get rolling. And so thank you for that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. At the end of the day, this is what I know for certain that I was made for. And it is what I love. It is what I have poured my heart and soul into for my entire life. Even before, on a professional level, my life was always consumed by music. And it's what I've always loved. It's what I've always known. It's always been my life. And I can't give up on that just because it gets hard. I can't. And I think, like I said earlier, it's just part of the grind. And hopefully one day it'll be worth it. So, all of that to say, have a great day. Thank you for listening to me yap, and thank you for continuing to support me and be there for me even when I don't feel like I have anything to give you. This was nice. I'm so glad that I got to dump this out of my brain a little bit. I know it was probably all over the place, and that's okay. That's how my brain works. Hopefully you can follow along. But man, I just love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to my music. If you don't listen to my music, you can go stream it on all of the music streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all of it. You can also follow Coffee and a Yap on Instagram at Coffee and a Yap. You can follow me on Instagram at Gracie York. I am on all social media as well. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share this video if you want to. And happy Monday. I hope you have a great week. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. I love you so much. Thank you for being just the best and for being here and listening to me rant. So I will see you guys very, very soon. Love you.